Hey, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you guys are at. We are live. We are live. Oh, I could have shaved this morning. Oh, what the light will do to you. Okay. So here we are doing the wrestling preview. I promised you guys. I'm a day late, but I had some knee situation. Um, I now have two bad knees, and trying to get the first one scheduled. They don't know about the second one yet, so I could barely walk, which will bring me up to last year. When Spencer Lee couldn't wrestle because he had torn ACLs in both knees. I gotta tell you, that guy's a stud. When he wrestled for a national title the year before and won it with no ACLs because I can barely walk. I'm in a lot of pain and I just feel like my knee on one side's going to give away. And and the pain is so hard. So Spencer Lee, my hats off to you guy. You are one tough mother sucker, which is why I got your shirt on. No excuses. I don't know if you guys can see that. It doesn't fit. I've outgrown it, but I wore it anyway. Okay. So here we go. So last year was kind of a bit of a disappointment, I think, in all of our minds because um we had last year we started out with uh, the entire lineup coming back. I think except for one. No, actually, we had everybody back that won the national title and Big Ten title from the season before. So expectations were really, really high last year for the Iowa wrestling team. They had everybody back, and then things changed. As you guys know, that Spencer Lee, I think he wrestled only in one, two, three matches last year, and decided to call it quits. Call it quits. I don't remember exactly how many he did. If he even if he did that many, I don't know. Mm. So, um, and losing Spencer Lee last year was such, even with the other guys behind him, was such a bad thing for the team because I could see it. The year before, when Spencer Lee was aggressive, run up the score, knock people down, get his pins, you know, um, and he walk out there fired up. The other guys that come on the mat behind him were so fired up, like a Jaden Ironman and Austin DeSanto. Those Alex Marinelli would come out and they would just, I think they would feed off that energy and for themselves. And those guys didn't have that energy this year, last year. Um, and so honestly, not having, oh, I don't know. Those guys aren't in the lineup this year, and it's sad because those guys are used up their eligibility and everything. But last year they had Drake Ayala um, leading off at 125 last year, and the guy was a freshman. He was still learning, and you know, um, he just wasn't as exciting to watch as Spencer Lee, and probably because he was a freshman, it was kind of hard for the guys behind him to get as fired up because Spencer come off that mat all fired up, and the guys were already so excited and everything, and that they were just ready to take on their next guys. Um, and so, but Spencer Lee is due back this year. He is a three-time national champion, and the question with that is, can he become a four-time champion with after having surgery on the legs? Can he come back right away? Or can he come back at all? I think that's the big question. I think he's planning on coming back. And does he come back and wrestle November and December matches um, that probably don't mean much, or does he just come back and wrestle for Big Ten and only, and and matches that mean more? That being said, I don't know what they're going to do with him. They've always been tight to the vest with what they're going to do with Spencer Lee. So I don't know. I think I honestly, let's see. Well, it's going to be huge if he does come back. I mean, he's top ranked at 125, has a 78-5 record, um, and he has 66 bonus point wins. Okay, that is an 84.6 bonus rate, and so that is a major part of the team's bonus points right there. And so that's why it hurt not having him in there. So what if he can't go this year? What if he can't go or can only go part time? Who's going to be in there? Probably Drake Ayala. Um, it was his spot at the end of the year. And so there's also Charles Matthew. I don't know anything about Charles Matthew. So we're just going to leave it right there. I mean, what Drake did last year speaks for himself. I mean, he did a wonderful job being coming in his first year and giving it everything he had. Um, how about 133? Okay. I think he was in the lineup part time last year, but the projected starter would be Colin Shriver. I think he was in the lineup last year, as was Jesse Yarborough, um, and Brody Teske. All those guys, I don't know about Brody Teske, but I'm pretty sure Jesse Yarborough and Colin Shriver did wrestle um, at the spot to fill in last year. Um, so we'll see. Okay, so yeah, Colin Shriver did wrestle a lot last year. He went 15-5 last season. So and he had 4 of his 5 losses came to eventual All Americans, and so about that, yeah. So that would be our projected winner at 131. They're 133. I mean, at 144, this one's hands down going to Real Woods. He's new. He. This is like um, he left. Iowa was in on him for recruiting before. He chose Stanford. Then Stanford dropped it. Dropped wrestling. So he went in the transfer portal. Iowa chose not to go at him this time. Um, for I think it's because I think this was the weight that Ironman was at last year, and so they had Ironman, and they didn't really need Real Woods last year. And then Stanford chose to add their wrestling program back, so Real Woods went back to Stanford, and then went into the transfer portal again. And this time Iowa did need him and went after him, and so at 141 it'll be Real Woods. But if something should happen to him, Drew Bennett or Leif Schroeder could fill in right there. But yeah, yeah. I don't, all these guys will have to be. They're all vital. Okay, some of these veterans, like I said, Spencer Lee so far is the only real veteran um, on the lineup. But when we get to 149, we're gonna the starter should be Max Mirren again. Okay, he is a veteran. He's a 6-year senior. He's a 4-time NCAA qualifier. He's reached the blood round 3 times. He went 14-5 last season and is 53-23 in 5 years in Iowa's lineup. And he begins the season ranked number 8 at 149. Honestly, I would expect Max Mirren to be rated higher than that, but I'm not the expert who goes around and ranks people. I just thought Max Mirren is he should be ranked higher. And honestly, I would hope that this year we could see better results from him. And his backup would be Caleb Rathjen. I want to say Rathjen or Rathen. The J might be silent, so Rathen. Okay. Okay. Mm, yeah, it looks okay. But Mirren has got one shot left to learn at least. So he hasn't looked like he hasn't earned his All American honors yet. Watching this. Here's another new name to me. Is Brett Lee Rena? Oh, I wish I should have got these another pronunciation names down. They got four guys at 157 going, including the before mentioned Ratchin or Rathan. Rathan, he's also included in this battle for 157. Okay. Um. And this is according to Tom Brands. He's got Cybrek, Caleb Rathan, and Joe Kelly all vying for position with Brett Lee Rina. So he's gonna probably the projected starter there, but don't be surprised if somebody else rises to the occasion. Um, yeah, and Kobe Cyberk is also coming up from being at 149 last year, and Joe Kelly's coming down from 165. He did wrestle his first two seasons at 157, so these guys have been around a little bit. Projected starter at 165 is now Patrick Kennedy. His backup will be Will Crano. Hey guys, could we get some easier names to pronounce? Okay, okay. Anyway, it says it's long last time for the Patrick era. By the way, I said I had to get some help to do this. My help comes from Hawk Central. I'm going over their projected. This is their projected lineup. I'm sharing with you guys. I want to give them credit, and some of the thoughts are my thoughts. Some of the thoughts are their thoughts, but I do. This is their credit. So give credit to Hawk Central for these projected lineups. Okay. Kennedy's been in the program for 3 years. He's wrestled behind Alex Marinelli for so long that he begins the career. He's number 15th ranked nationally by Intermat. Probably, I don't know. That's low for a Hawkeye starter. I think he should be ranked higher. I think all okay. And back in the lineup this year is Nelson Brands after not wrestling last year at 174. Um, and said Tom Brands classified this weight as the third lineup battle and the media day. The backup to Nelson Brands would be Brandon Swafford. And so it looks like Tom Brands is going to let this one wrestle out, but I think the projected starter here by Hawk Central is Nelson Brands. Okay. Um, he's 15th ranked by Intermat, and so they're saying that Nelson Brands we may not see Nelson Brands early in the season. I don't know why that is. And that'll allow Swafford early opportunity to show how much he's developed since transferring from NAIA Graceland, and he went 14-7 last year. I really a guy who went 14-7 at Graceland last year. Um, I don't know if he's got Division 1 Power 5 wrestling potential. But Tom Brands has him there in the battle, so Tom Brands sees something in him. Um, it'd be different. I thought if he'd gone through there and went 21, 22-0 or 23-0 or something like that last year, and won the national title at that weight class. You know, so he did take third at the under 23 national tournament. So I guess there's some growth there according to Hawk Central, but like I said, Tom Brands must see something to take him there because first glance, I wouldn't, but then I don't get paid the money Tom Brands does to wrestle, to coach wrestling at Iowa. Okay, I'm having trouble with this thing here. Okay, all right, we're going to 184. Abe is back. At 184, and his backup would be Andy Simons. Assad begins the year ranked number 12 by rank. God, that seems low for him. Okay. He's a two-time NCAA qualifier in 2020 when COVID nixed the NCAA championship, and again last year he went 1-2. Assad went 14-10 overall last season, so 6 losses came by 3 points or less. Yeah, the junior All American capability, as evidenced by his spectacular true freshman campaign. Injury the following year may have lingered into last season, but Assad is returning into the form this year that is a must for Iowa to reach the lofty postseason goals. Um, so, Jacket Warner is back at 197. He'll be backed up by Zach Glazier. This would be Warner's senior year. He is number 2 by Intermat, and he's a 3-time All-American who has been on the podium each season. 7th as a freshman, 4th as a sophomore, then NCAA final last year. Warner is considered one of the top talents at the nation's deepest weights, and if he's shown anything this year or over the course of his career, it's that he is at his best when the stakes are at the highest. So that's good. Okay. Here comes 285, or otherwise known as heavyweight. Tony Capasani. I can never say that. Capas, Cas, Tony Capasi. You guys know how to say it, okay? He's backed up by Eastern Fleshman and Gage Marty. Tony is only a junior by eligibility standard. Is another top tier contender at that weight. That's both deep and open. Taking for now, taking that. Oh, okay. Minnesota has graduated their heavyweight, Gabe Stevenson. You guys remember him last year, and you guys even, I think, gave him a standing ovation at when they wrestled Iowa. Okay. So he begins the season as the 4th ranked nationally by Intermat. Okay. Okay. Is with that. Yeah. So there is your lineup. And so there's some other people I didn't mention. I think these guys are true freshmen. Joel Joel Shrago. He was a 3A champion for Southeast Polk and Junior Freestyle All American this past summer. He'll likely wrestle at 149. Okay. All right, Aiden Riggins. He's out of Waverly Shell Rock, a 3A state champ. And then a junior freestyle national champion. It looks like he's going to go at 157. Mickey Griffin, a 2-time 3A finalist out of Des Moines, Lincoln. All right, Colby Franklin, I believe I mentioned his name earlier. At 197. Franklin is Pennsylvania product who moved to Iowa City during his senior year and will be productive big man in the future. We got Bradley Hill, 3A step champ from that beat Franklin in the finals. Could also be a future starter at 197. Hills from nearby Bettendorf, and he's kind of under the radar right now. Easton Fleshman, we mentioned him earlier. 2A state champ from West Lyon, and one of 2 heavyweights on the roster, regardless of age, behind Tony Cosby Tony. Guys, I'm having a hard time. Okay. So that being said, let's take a look at the schedule that they've got coming up. So Schedule. Okay. All right. So they're going to start off on November 13th with against Cal Baptist. That's at 1 o'clock in Iowa City. Okay. They follow that up with a November 17th match against Army. Um, and then the next day they wrestle Buffalo. Army's in West Point, New York, and Albany, New York is Buffalo. So, and then the same day on the 18th, they're going to take on Sacred Heart in Albany, New York as well. So it looks like they're having a little New York run there, guys. They'll, November 22nd, they'll be at the NCAA All Star Classic. Uh, that's in Austin, Texas. Don't know much about that. Then they come home on November 26th to wrestle Penn in Iowa City. Good matchup. Our Iowa State is ranked. I think they're ranked in the top 10, but not as high as Iowa, who's ranked number two. I should have mentioned that they are ranked number two behind Penn State. Okay. Um, but Iowa State is coming to Iowa City. That's always interesting. Iowa's owned the Iowa State for years, and but Iowa State, who used to be a force back in the day. And so hang on, don't know what that's about. We're just gonna leave that alone. So anyhow, back in the day, but Iowa State, I think is gonna make a rebound. So that could be a good match. I'd have to wait till we got to the season to actually look at that match head to head and see how it's going. Um, okay. Then we got Chattanooga, in Chattanooga, Tennessee, on December 10th, and then they got Soldier Salute on December 28th. It's an all day wrestling thing in Coralville, Iowa. It must be something that Iowa is um, sponsoring. It looks like to me like if it says Coralville, they'll be at the home of the where the volleyball team host right now games. In case you guys weren't aware of it, the wrestling is as right next door to Carver Hawkeye Arena is putting up a brand new wrestling complex that should be state of the art, and they're going to use a tunnel to hook them to Carver Hawkeye Arena. I think they're going to still wrestle their matches at Carver, but just work out and wrestle. They got separate men and women's facilities going to be in that new wrestling facility, and that's not be done until 20 spring of 2024. So Iowa's got 2 seasons before they can use it yet. Um, Iowa opens up Big Ten play on January 6th against Illinois at home. Then they travel on January 8th to Purdue. Come home on January 13th to Northwestern. January 20th, Nebraska at home. Then they travel to Wisconsin. Wisconsin will be a tough matchup. Wisconsin's ranked right up there too. Got that and big match um, on January 27th, but it's at University Park, Pennsylvania. It is Penn State, guys. Um, we didn't beat them last year in the duel, and I really think not having Spencer Lee in the lineup was the big reason why, because we lost that point and we lost that, and I think the bonus points in that round um, to Penn State. If we'd have had Spencer Lee, we'd have probably got some bonus points there too. So and I think that was pretty much what I consider the difference in the wrestling match. Okay, Minnesota. This used to be a hot rivalry. It's not as not has been so much lately, but they're on February 3rd in Minneapolis, and Michigan. They are hotly contested lately, and they're coming to town on February 10th, and then February 19th, Oklahoma State is coming, and you guys know that they've been perennial champs off and on too, and they're like I said, they're not as great as they used to be, but they're still a force to be reckoned with. Um, and then that pretty much ends the dual season, and Big Ten championships begin in Ann Arbor on March 4th, and the NC wrestling tournament begins in Tulsa, Oklahoma, um, on May 16th. So really, I just wanted to give you a quick preview. I know that I'm not flashy or anything like some of the guys are, and maybe I could have brought in an extra wrestler in here to talk and stuff like that. I am working on a, special guest for when they do Iowa State. I want to get a former Iowa State wrestler on here that I personally know, and maybe an Iowa wrestler to just kind of play off them, both of them. But I'm working on it, guys. I'm going to get them on here, and I think it'll be fun when that match comes up. But and so do this again. Okay. All right. Alrighty. Yeah, I don't have much else on this. I mean, the press conference transcripts and the YouTube video of Tom Brands what he actually had to say are up there on YouTube if you want to, or go to the University of Iowa official Hawk page, and then find wrestling, and then go under news, and you can find everything Tom Brands had to say, and on there. You can either read the transcript or go to YouTube and watch the whole video. It's up to you. You know, you do it your way. Um, as you guys can tell, I kind of like doing the video thing, and I kind of wish we'd have had some people on here commenting this morning, but it's okay. I can live with it. So, oh, yeah, I'm sorry about the eye. It just looks like it's not cooperating this morning. I'm becoming a wreck, guys. I really am. Okay. All right, I'm gonna get out of here. We're not quite 30 minutes into this, 27 minutes, but hey, going on 28. And so, enjoy. I hope you enjoyed the preview. I hope I gave you a little bit to go on. Like I said, I know I'm not a professional and don't deliver this as smooth as I could. And that's okay. I'm okay with that. I'm just a fan like you guys are, and I'm just here to have fun and share things that I learn as a fan. Not trying to be an expert in the area. Just trying to help fellow fans out that may not have access to some of this stuff, or don't know this stuff, or and just want to enjoy it. Okay, so I mean, I would, if you're not already subscribing to the YouTube channel, please subscribe. Right now with the football, we uh, talking Iowa Hawkeye sports. We do three of us. Uh, it's Jack's Florida Hawkeye, or Jack's Hawkeye Florida, and Coach Hackwell. We do the show. We do previews of the games and post game of the football games right now, and I'm not sure what we're gonna do with the basketball and wrestling season shows up. We'll see. I know that Paul, who's known as Jax, is a very busy man, and so I don't know how much he can contribute with the basketball season being crazy hours and crazy game days and things like that. We'll see if we can get the three of us together on that, or if I'm doing a solo thing, or if I'm going to be doing it solo with them guest starring when they can get in here. So we'll see. We'd be a better show with them. I think you guys would all agree with that. Okay. So anyway, subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't already. And once you have done that, please share it. And if you're already a subscriber, please share it to your friends and stuff. Help us get this thing going. We're getting closer to 200. Let's roll it over to 200 as I go with my ultimate goal of 1,000. So let's keep it moving, guys. Let's keep the numbers moving upwards. Let's keep sharing it and keep enjoying it. And as always, drop me a comment on any of these videos. I do get notified that you drop a comment, so sometimes you drop a comment, I get notified that the comment's there, and then I go there and you took the comment off. And so I'm not sure why, or maybe YouTube could have. But anyhow, you know, um, if you comment, leave it there. All right. We'll talk to you guys later. I'm out, and enjoy the rest of your week. And we'll see you Friday with the other two guys for um, Purdue pregame. I promise you, we've got some discussion for that. Take care.